Good morning, natural resource students. Today what we're going to do is start an experiment. We're going to actually do the fermentation of the material tomorrow, but today you guys are going to get all set up so that tomorrow we can rock and roll. You should be given a document that says Introduction Questions, Yeast Metabolize Carbohydrates. This information at the beginning here gives you the equation of what yeast do to make ethanol. North of Norfolk is a ethanol plant. Some of you guys might go on to get jobs there. Some of the jobs deal with college education beyond a master's, beyond a bachelor's degree. Some deal with associate's degree, and some don't even need a degree at all to work at the ethanol plant. However, a basic understanding of ethanol will get you a better idea if you want to work here. So today's lab, we'll be setting up how to turn glucose into carbon dioxide, ethanol, and a little bit of energy for yeast. You should be able to do question number 1 on the introduction section. Looking at number 2, you need to skip all the way down to page 6, which is the third page that you were given, and look at page 7, page 7, the fourth page, where it tells you you'll be dealing with sucrose, cornmeal, and stover. Sucrose, cornmeal, and stover. Those will be your 4 items that you go through, or 3 items that you are going to need to answer for number 2. Look at the material list provided. That's cornmeal, stover, and glucose, or sucrose, sucrose. How will we measure the metabolic activity of the yeast? Why is this measurement an indication of metabolic rate? Try to see if you can't answer that. It's a review of biology. Sophomores, nah, but juniors and seniors, you should be able to figure that one out. Read about the balloons. We aren't actually going to do the balloons. We're going to take a little field trip here in this video and show you what you're actually going to use, but figure it out. Number 3, what are the plant materials known as feedstocks to be tested? We just went over those. Compare the carbohydrate composition of sucrose and other feedstocks and hypothesis. What are some of the differences? You need to Google search these. So Google search. Number 3, Google search carbohydrate composition, sucrose, cornmeal, or what would be known as starch, and the last one is cellulose, which is known as corn stover. Check the difference between the chemical composition of cellulose, which is corn stover, cornstarch, which is cornmeal, and sucrose, which is table sugar. So you should be able to number 3 also. The last one that I want you to do today is number 4. Number 4 says, which feedstocks to be tested in an experiment do you think will be metabolized the fastest by the yeast? Why? Make a hypothesis below. What I'd like you to do is put a guess. Look at question number 3 and try to guess which one's going to be able to be broken down easier by the yeast. I think you might be able to get it if you actually think through things. But if you don't think through any things and you're just going through the motions, won't be able to get it until the next day, and I'll help you out on it. Now we move down to review then. So you should be able to do questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll need to look on page 7 to see what the materials are, and then you'll need to Google search items. This is video 1, introducing the lab. Should take you about 15 minutes. Rock and roll.